And today we're going to do a practice that I usually call the mindfulness of breathing, but I've renamed today as staying present with the breath. So mindfulness is all about noticing what's happening in this moment. It's being present in this moment. And as human beings, of course, we don't do that, do we? We spend our time thinking about the past, planning the future, getting caught up in anxiety and stories and fantasies and wantings and not wantings and all sorts of things like that. And in a way, that's what makes our life painful. This constant activity in the mind, this constant storytelling and commentating and opinions. So if we can somehow come into the present moment and just be here, then it's completely lovely. There's no pain. We're just present with whatever's happening. Whatever's happening may be unpleasant, but we're not bothered by it so much if we're here really noticing it and not thinking about it. So this is really what we're trying to do in the mindfulness of breathing. And as a way of doing that, we're following the breath. We're really concentrating on the breath so that we're present with each breath. We're present with the in-breath, we're present with each out-breath. And that's all we're trying to do. Now, of course, it's not that easy. It won't work a lot of the time because our mind is really insistent on thinking. Our mind keeps pulling us away. And so if we try and stop that, then we're just adding to the general chaos of the mind. So what we have to do is to just patiently notice that. Just notice that, oh, I've been away, I was distracted then, I wasn't here. And that noticing that we weren't there, that we were pulled away by thoughts, actually helps the mind to begin to settle. And if we keep coming back to the breath and keep coming back to the breath over and over again, maybe thousands and thousands of times, eventually we get distracted less. And then we notice our lives much more. We notice them not just for the odd second or two, but we notice them. We notice what we're doing, how we are, who we're with, a great deal more. And that makes life so much richer and happier and less painful. So anyway, that's what we're trying to do. That's the target, if you like. So we're going to do the mindfulness of breathing. It's in 4 stages. Most of you know this. The first stage, we follow the out breath, and we can count at the end of the out breath if we want. The second stage, we follow the in breath, and we can count at the beginning of the in breath if that helps. And then in the third stage, we bring our attention to the breath in the body. And in the 4th stage, we bring our attention up to the subtle sensations around the nose, the nostrils, and the upper lip, or the upper lip, wherever we breathe in. But I'll lead us through it, so you don't have to remember that if you've not done it before. And if you have done it before and you get a bit fed up of me talking, then just filter me out. If you don't need me, just ignore me. In a way, I'm just another sound going on. Okay, so we begin as usual, as always, by relaxing, by arriving in the meditation. Just noticing what it's like sitting here, being you this morning. Just noticing how you are mentally, positive, negative, somewhere in between. How you are emotionally. Excited, fairly stable, or a bit down in the dumps, or something else. And noticing where you are physically. Any aches and pains, maybe a sense of morning sluggishness or sleepiness. Maybe you're feeling quite alive physically. So however you are in all those three ways, that's fine. Whatever it is, however you are, good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant, it's fine. We're just accepting that this is the way we are, this is where we're starting from. We're not trying to change it. So we might notice the weight of our bodies pressing down on the chair or the bed or the floor, and just giving it up, giving up the weight of the body, letting ourselves be held. Feeling the contact with the floor or the bed, to our feet or our backs, or if we're kneeling, our shins, our lower legs. And the contact with whatever if we're sitting on a chair, the contact with the chair. So we're in touch with the earth through whatever we're sitting or lying on. We're being held by the earth. And we can just give up all effort. Our bodies will look after themselves, and we're being held. We've got nothing to do. No cares, no worries. For the next 25 minutes, we just can enjoy this time for ourselves. So bringing our attention to our breathing, the in-breath and the out-breath. The in-breath expanding the chest, and the out-breath relaxing the chest. And just letting our body breathe in the way it wants to, trying not to interfere with that. Noticing this steady, rhythmic sensation of breathing. The in-breath, bringing energy and light into our being. Each out-breath relaxing us slightly, letting go. And we're going to begin with the relaxing breath, the out-breath. Just noticing it from beginning to end. Each time we breathe out, following the breath from the beginning to the end. And if it helps us to concentrate, we can place a number at the end of each out-breath, beginning with 1, and then 2, and then so on up to 10. And then beginning again at 1, placing the number right at the end of each out-breath. And if we get distracted, which we will, coming back to the counting, the breath and the counting, and beginning again at 1. And when you get distracted, not being concerned about that, not beating yourself up or getting irritated, just noticing, enjoying the moment that you come back into awareness, and beginning to follow the out-breath once again, if you wish, counting at the very end. Following each out-breath all the way to the end. So just letting go of the counting for a moment if you're counting, and making sure you're comfortable, adjusting your posture if you need to. Taking stock of yourself again. And then when you're ready, in stage 2, counting just before each in-breath in just the same way. Counting 1, following the in-breath all the way to the end. Then counting 2 on the next in-breath, and so on up to 10. And then beginning again. And again you'll get distracted. So just coming back to the breath and the counting if you are counting. Following each in-breath right from the very beginning to the very end. And not making too much effort, just noticing each in-breath right from the beginning to the end, without trying to get anywhere or do anything. So if you've been counting, we're going to stop the counting now. And we're going to move our moment by moment awareness into the body, into the chest particularly, just noticing the movement of the breath in the chest, the expanding and contracting of the rib cage as the lungs fill up and empty. What does that feel like? And can you notice the sensations of the breath? The feeling of this breath as it fills the lungs, as it enters the body and fills the lungs and then leaves again. Right inside the lungs there is a sensation of the breath coming and going. Can you feel it? Not worrying if you can't, but just being open to this moment by moment experience. And if you wish, you can move your awareness to other parts of the body, noticing the breath there, these subtle movements of the body in the arms, in the legs, in the belly and the abdomen, and in the head. It's very subtle, but if we look carefully, we can actually find the breath moving the body everywhere. Noticing as much as you can and not worrying about not being able to notice some things. Just really enjoying the sensation of the breath in the body and getting lost in it or absorbed in it as much as you can. In the fourth and final stage, we're going to move our moment by moment awareness to the area around the nostrils or the upper lip. Now, the sensations here are very subtle. Just trying to notice the air moving past the skin of the nostrils or the skin of the upper lip, just brushing it as it comes into the body, and then brushing these areas again as it leaves. So we need to focus very carefully on these small areas, just really feeling the air coming in and the breath leaving the body. Not trying too hard, but just focusing as much as we can on whichever place the breath enters the body. And just noticing what that feels like. Just being a bit curious, maybe noticing what the quality of the breath is like, without thinking about it too much. What's the texture of the breath like? And is the temperature of the in-breath different to the out-breath? And noticing the turning point between the in-breath and the out-breath, between the out-breath and the in-breath. And for the last few moments of this meditation, just letting go of all effort now. Just sitting, just observing your experience, moment by moment. not getting drawn into anything, not pushing anything away, just sitting with things as they are right now. And in a moment I'm going to ring the bell for the end of the meditation, and when I do, just being gentle with yourselves, opening your eyes when you're ready, and bringing your meditation to an end.